Ukraine is safe in 2025, right? Nope, still really dangerous, especially close to the border or the occupied territories. There are no more people in the country? Not true either. In this video, I will show you how life is going on in the second biggest city in Ukraine and how it has changed since 2022. Please understand that I will avoid certain vocabulary on purpose. Hello, my name is Yulia, I'm Ukrainian from the city called Kharkiv. You might also heard about it as Kharkov. I'm living in Spain and making videos about life here, Eastern Europe, and learning languages. My family is still in Ukraine and I went there twice in the past 3 years. Let me share the things that might shock you because most of them are shocking to me as well. First of all, there are no flights anymore, and if you want to enter Ukraine, your options are a bus or a train. Check out my previous video about it. So I took this 3-hour bus and 23-hour train from Poland. Before, it used to be 1-hour flight. When I was on the train, my phone suddenly started alerting me about the danger. So this is number 2, everyday alerts. At the beginning of 2022, before the beginning, the city's population was 1.6 million. It's a big and developed city with lots of universities and foreign students. Nowadays, there are still many people, even though the day might consist of constant alerts. Once you walk in the street, it might seem that there are few people and places open. That's not true. It's just the temperature is below 0. It is cold and also slippery. Welcome to Eastern Europe. And when it's cold, we either stay in homes, coffee shops, restaurants, or work. Spending over 1 hour in the street with this temperature is not a very pleasant experience. Big supermarkets is something I miss so much in Spain. Just look at this. We have actually 2 supermarkets like that in my cozy tiny neighborhood, and they're in front of each other. In my city, even if you are living somewhere far away from the center, we have so many really big supermarkets. For example, this one, it has a variety of foods. You can actually find everything here, even many products from EU. Here you might think that everything is closed, but it's not like that. We have most of the places and supermarkets open and fully functioning. Just they're not open 24 hours as some of them used to. There is a curfew hour from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. and this supermarket, for example, including many others, has been hit by a missile. But they have restored it and opened again in a couple of days. The prices went up a lot. Now everything is triple of what it used to be before in our currency, hryvnia, and that's such a pity. The high rate of inflation makes people struggle a lot. But if I think about it in euro, it's still very cheap. For example, I went to a homemade food place and paid 3.5 euro for one borscht, which is a traditional Ukrainian soup, garlic bread called pampushki, and sirniki, cottage cheese pancakes. A dish in a quality restaurant would cost you from 5 to 10 euro. Also, some new places opened as well. For example, my mom's friend recently opened a clothes repair, and it's going well. Over 1 million people still are living in the city and businesses are running. There is actually a shortage of workers, especially male. In Kharkiv, government is taking some measures to help people due to economical issues and high inflation. So the public transport within the city is free, and the public zoo, a very modern one where the animals are not stuck in cages, that had been opened only a few months before the 24th of February of 2024, is also open and it is free. If you're in the city, close to the border, then the alerts make no sense since sometimes they catch the enemy after the strike, or other times you have approximately 1.5 minutes to go to a safe place, which is unrealistic, so people usually ignore the alerts. Some stores or coffee shops might actually close during this time and you just have to leave. and supposed to go to the nearest shelter, but no one does that anymore. And this is the risk everyone living in Ukraine keeps facing. I swear this is so stressful for me, even though I might look calm in these videos. And just here, during our visit to the zoo, we heard the alert. But nobody is reacting in any way. They're just staying where they are and keep doing what they are doing. Probably you have noticed that there are a lot of women in the streets, but not that many men. As I already told you, there are quite many opportunities, especially for men, because there is this shortage. According to the mobilization laws, all men aged 18 to 60 can't leave the country without a special permission, because they have military obligations. Men in this age range can be called up for service at any time. For now, students are exempt from these obligations, and there are some exceptions who can even leave the country, for example, people with disabilities or fathers of 3 and more kids under 18. Also, I have to mention some serious issues. There have been multiple reports, including videos and eyewitnesses, of Ukrainian military recruiters using illegal tactics to detain men in the streets and force them into military service. These tactics, often called street mobilization, have raised legal and ethical concerns. As you understand, millions of people got displaced. Over 8 million Ukrainians fled abroad, mostly to the EU, and there are no more international students. They choose other destinations, like Azerbaijan, for example, instead of Kharkiv. But we used to have many students, as my city is a university city and there are many quality universities. Nowadays, online learning dominates here. Most students stay at home, but there are a few schools located in shelters or bunkers underground. They are not affordable at all, and there is a big queue because many parents want their kids to socialize in person. But many people decided to stay because this is their home. Both living and staying are difficult decisions to make. I'm so happy to see people not losing their spirit no matter what. My mom, for example, is the strongest woman ever, and even though she could have left and moved to a safer place or country along with me, she decided to stay with the rest of the family and keeps her optimism regardless of the situation. Here you can see some buildings affected. Many historical buildings have been destroyed inside, and there is only this frontal part. This is the river promenade called Strilka, where we used to walk and spend a lot of time in the summer. And here I'm showing you also one of the main streets as well, with buildings after the strike. These are one of the most serious and painful destructions for the city, because this is the heart of the city. Everywhere there are checkpoints and there are curfews. For example, now you have to stay at home from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. So we can't walk too much, also because public transport is limited at later hours. And I'm not talking about metro here. Metro is open from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. Also, anytime there might be blackouts due to attacks on energy infrastructure. Usually there are power generators, and also my family has power banks, lamps lasting even during the blackouts. Every business has generators, so if anything happens, they still can keep the work. In frontline cities and areas under attack, authorities recommend turning off all the lights at night. This is called light masking. So we usually use curtains or blackout blinds. Only recently we started having more lights in the streets at night, and this night sky actually feels like a miracle. They only turn it on during the weekends, but people feel really happy when they see it. Also, don't forget to wear some reflective elements in your clothes so you get noticed if it's very dark. This is all for this video. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and see you in the next one.